This is tutorial 4 of 6, covering finding materials. Even if you're in a closed research section, knowing how to find materials is still useful knowledge. This may be the first time you're introduced to this process at the college level, and you will be expected to have knowledge of this process in your future classes. These tutorials also endeavor to teach skills for lifelong learning. Your future employer won't pay you to find easy answers. They will want you to do research and apply analytical and critical thinking skills to your process. Find materials is step 3 of the research process. Step 3 is where lots of the magic happens, but it can also be frustratingly full of dead ends and false starts. Prepare yourself to be a little frustrated and be sure to plan for enough time to do several searches in several places. Remember our research question from previous tutorials, how is glacial melting affecting wildlife in Alaska? You already started this process when looking for background information. Remember, you need to get keywords from your research question to start to search. Avoid fluff words like effect and impact as keywords. You might also start to think of synonyms for your keywords, as that will help you to keep searching if your original keywords don't bring up any results. You can also try using your research question as a phrase. You'll probably want to try many different searches using keywords, phrase searching, and synonyms. It is also important to understand that different people refer to things differently. For example, there are many synonyms for the native people of Alaska. Searching different words will bring up different results, and scholars may use different words from the regular public, which your background research should have helped you learn. Tip: keep a list of keywords and update it as you go. Note that one field may call something one thing and another may call it something else. One popular place to look for information is Google Scholar. You can use Google Scholar to find lots and lots of information about a topic. However, you can be quickly overwhelmed by the number of results. Also, you may not be able to tell easily whether the citations and links you find are to peer-reviewed journals or even journals that are appropriate to your research question. You can use Google Scholar to learn about useful journals or authors. Then try to locate them in library databases to find out where other similar stuff might live. Library databases will give you more control over your searches than Google Scholar. Most databases have ways to narrow your search, so be sure to review the W131 course guide for tips on using library databases, or look for a help menu in the database. So before we go any further, let's take a step back to better understand what we mean when we say library databases. Library databases are organized collections of electronic information that allow you to search for a particular topic, article, or book in a variety of ways, such as by keyword, which we mentioned earlier. Library databases contain lots of different types of information. Scholarly articles, also known as peer-reviewed or academic articles, popular articles like newspapers and magazines, primary sources like diaries, documents, and speeches, data and statistics, for example, government and business data, tests and measures, for example, in psychology and medicine, book reviews, books, reference sources like dictionaries, and multimedia sources like videos, art, and images. Consider whether your research question requires answers from one specific discipline or subject area, or many. If your topic falls neatly into one discipline, you can start to learn the common terms in that field related to your research question and keywords. For example, if your topic is covered by history, you can search a database that is specific to that subject area, like historical abstracts. You can find subject-specific databases on each subject guide, but you can also find some suggested databases on the English W131 course guide. If you know the name of the database you want to use, check out the database's A to Z list on the library website. If you are researching a multidisciplinary topic, for example, environmental science or women's studies, you may have to brainstorm lots of synonyms. There are multidisciplinary databases that contain information for a wide range of subject areas. You can start your research in one of these, like Academic Search Premier or ProQuest Central, and continue to build a list of keywords and synonyms related to your research question so that you are searching for relevant information, even if it might be called something different from what you initially thought. The database you choose will depend on your rhetorical situation. What database is going to contain the information that is going to help you make a case and persuade your audience? Searching can be frustrating. You may need to search multiple times. Your initial keywords might not work, or you may get irrelevant information. Use the results of your search to inform your next search. What keywords are authors using? Use those to revise your search. It's important to remember that all databases work pretty much the same, so don't be intimidated if you have to use an unfamiliar one. Take a moment to think critically about what information you find in databases and what is excluded. Did you find what you were looking for? Why or why not? You may need to reevaluate what keywords you used and where you were looking in order to target the information you want, but there might be something else at play. Information privilege is not only having access to databases that come with a cost to subscribe, but it also includes having access to publishing and a free press. Barriers exist in the world for certain places and groups of people that prevent information about them from getting published or distributed. Right now, as an IUPUI student, you have a high level of information privilege. You can use the information at your fingertips to not only create a great paper for a good grade, but you can create new knowledge. Professional writers and researchers use their information privilege to study problems in the world, to propose solutions, and create new knowledge. Regardless of where you find the information to support your question, whether it's through a subscription library database or a free open access website, you must take into consideration the quality of the information you choose, and we'll cover evaluating information in the next tutorial. Here are some final tips for using library databases. Use Find It to find the full text of an article. While at IUPUI, you should never have to pay to access research. If we don't have the full text of something through a database, you can still request a copy of an article or book that you need through our interlibrary loan system. You can find the link on the University Library website. If you want some more practice with database skills, check out the library's how-to guides. They cover things like keyword and subject searching, as well as using some of the more advanced database skills. Also, you can always contact a subject librarian to request a consultation. Up next, evaluating the information you found.